M2 60mm mortar. Gimmick or must-have? Currently you can get the M2 mortar through the event, Reinforcements Received, Specialists. You can either play or pay for it, but it won't be available after the event. Now if we lay out the details of both the standard and the M2 mortar, we can instantly see three differences. Obviously the first is the difference in caliber. Second, we see that the M2 mortar weighs roughly 4 times that of the 2-inch version. And as last, we can see that the M2 mortar has a whopping 0.1 meter more splash damage in distance. We are going to test both systems on 3 abilities. 1. Shell accuracy. A mortar can have the best damage, but if it does not hit the target, it does not really matter. 2. Shell splash damage. To test if the 60mm shell is OP against the 2-inch version. And 3. Smoke shell size and max distance. A mortar serves also as support for the rest of the troops. Being able to deploy smoke could make all the difference in combat. Test 1. Accuracy. We are going to fire 9 shells at a truck from 55 meters away and compare the impacts. Those are not even close. Let's do that again. Direct hit and a miss. Space the shots. Maybe it helps. That is in my neighbor's yard somewhere. And another one in the field. Last set of 2. Here we go. Oof, a little far behind though. And that's for sure a hit. Okay, last shell. Let's see if we close it off with a nice hit. Nope, again in my neighbor's yard. Okay, let's see how this M2 mortar does the job. First set of 2. That's close, but missed, and that's a great hit. Again. Way off. And another hit. Close though. And again a hit. Last set of 2. Oof, that was a double hit. Now, we have one more shell left. Let's give it a good aim, and... Oh, what? Well, let's fire it anyway. But that does kind of give us an answer also. And the last shell also is a hit. Now, calling out a hit could be debatable. And so, the hit count won't give us a solid answer. But comparing all the shell impacts to the point we aim at will tell us a lot about the accuracy. So we made 2 impact maps. First is the standard 2-inch mortar. As you can see, the 2-inch mortar has 3 shots centered around the purple aim point on the map. The 6 other shots are horizontally pretty off target. That makes a score of 33% horizontal accuracy. The M2 mortar's impact map instantly says it all. Basically only 1 shot really deviated on the horizontal line, and all others seem way more on point compared to the 2-inch version. 6 out of 9 hit the purple aim point. That would set a score of 66% horizontal accuracy. Really not bad. Test 2, splash damage. We are going to fire 3 single shells at 3 clusters of multiple targets. The results from the first test we did will probably dictate the outcome of this test, since missing a target neglects the power of any shell completely. This will give us a good comparison on the usability of these systems in the field. First target is a stack of 3. We aim for the middle target. Little back to the left, still 2 out of 3 targets. Okay, next is a cluster of 4 targets. We aim for the one right of the center. Let's see. Little far to the right, but it got all 4 targets. Now comes a cluster of 5 targets which are a little spaced from each other. We aim for the big white target, but fire our shell 3 meters short so it should land in the middle. Let's see how this goes. Way off to the right, and so it only knocked out 3 of 5 targets, bringing the total count of 9 out of 12 targets hit. Let's see how the M2 does. Straight on target, 3 out of 3 targets down. Second cluster. Let's see. Little to the right, but still on point, knocking out 4 of the 4 targets. Okay, last shell of this test, the cluster of 5. Near perfect hit if you ask me, knocking down all 5 of the targets. Bringing the final score to 9 out of 12 targets for the 2-inch mortar, making a total of 75%, and 12 out of 12 targets for the M2 mortar, which equals to 100%. When compared to the first test, these results should not come unexpected. As mentioned before, accuracy is probably the most important factor of a mortar system. Now the last test. Smoke shell size and distance. The max distance for both mortars is exactly the same as turns out, both being 253 meters. So all that's left is to see if a 60mm mortar shell gives more smoke than a 2-inch one. As you can see in the comparison here, it is very identical. Bringing us to the end results of our test. The 2-inch mortar gets 33% for its accuracy in the first test, and is still scoring a good 75% hit rate on the targets presented in test 2. Finally, it will drop your shell at a maximum range of 235 meters. In case of smoke, this results in an 8 bars wide smokescreen on the binoculars on that range. The 66% accuracy of the M2 in test 1 makes it go for a full 100% hit rate on the targets presented in test 2. Also coming out on a maximum range of 235 meters, with a smokescreen of also 8 bars wide. In the end, the M2 turns out as the slightly more accurate mortar, thus making it more efficient on the battlefield at the end of the day. Its 60mm shell is far from OP compared to the 2-inch, and the 0.1 meter extra in splash damage range is not making a noticeable difference. But its ability to hit the target makes it stand out just that little bit. We conducted these tests for over 2 hours, and almost every time with the same results. So it feels pretty safe to say, the M2 is not a gimmick, but it's also not an OP version compared to the standard 2-inch. For sure, if you are a regular mortar player, you are going to notice the better aim, that is, the moment your teammates understand how to ping enemies precise. If it is worth your time and efforts as non-main mortar player is up to you. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a great rest of your day. Until next time.